All right, let's do it.
So, hello everyone, I'm Mike and I'm with Van from Wheat Stateful. Alright, so before we start creating our governance action, just wanted to make some precisions because I received some comeback about our videos, about the way we build things, right? So, just making some precisions. When you do Cardano CLI on your terminal, you see there is a group of legacy commands and there is available commands, right? And from those commands, you see there's Conway commands, right? So if you take a look at it in the legacy commands, you have address, stake address, key, transaction, node, stake pool, etc. query. But if you go into the Cardano CLI Conway that we often use, you also have these set of commands. Address, key, genesis, governance, node, query, stake address, stake pool. So what this means is that you can generate your key from Conway commands, and you can also generate your keys from legacy commands. And same thing goes for stake address registration, delegation registration. So the message that I'm trying to transmit today is that it's fine if you use one or the other, but don't mix them up as much as you can. Don't create a registration certificate using the legacy and then you try to build a transaction using the Conway and you try to submit it this way or vice versa, because you will encounter some error messages. And that was
Sounds
it.
good.
That
That
was it.
makes sense. Yeah.
If people follow our videos, there's some commands we do legacy, right? Especially for registration because you can use them as well on mainnet. And I'll say the governance part, we use the Conway commands. So I kind of separate these into two set of commands, so people can work around them. And so that was it. That's the end of my parenthesis. So
Sounds good.
all right. That being said, bloom. So we'll put that.
All right. We are going to create a governance action on SanchoNet.
Yes. And the first one we would do is updating the constitution. So as you may know, if you guys read the SIP 1694, when you create a governance action, you have to provide the ID from the previous one of the same type that has been ratified. Is it going to be required or optional? You know, the CLI change every day, so I'll presume that it is mandatory, even if on your command it doesn't necessarily tells you it is. So we'll add it. There's nothing bad about it, so we'll do that. So first, I want to submit a constitution on Central Testnet. So what I do need at first is to get the transaction ID from the previous one. So we'll do that.
And just so for people watching the video, for this example, we're creating a constitution which Mike has worked on independently and put some thought and some time into. And but you can also, there are other commands under the governance portion, and I'm sure we'll do some of those in later videos. But for today's example, we're going to submit a constitution, and then I'm going to vote on it as a DREP. Isn't that right, Mike? That's the
Yeah,
goal, at least.
that'll be exciting actually.
So yeah, and just so people watching know, I'm sure there'll be other videos focused on some of the other governance actions,
Of
and
course.
that'll be fun too. But this is just, I just don't want people to think the Constitution is all that this applies to,
That's the first one I'm
which is
gonna
pretty
do
cool. Yeah,
because
it's just the first one.
I believe it's one of the easiest to learn, at first. So here's the constitution that I'm going to submit. It was basically just for fun, but I believe there's some common sense written in it. But first, as Van suggested last time, I want to see what's the actual constitution on Central Testnet, right? And there's a query for that. Again, thanks to Van, he brought this up in the video that I messed up because I wasn't recording the sound from our microphones. Cardinal CLI, Conway, and it's a query command, but I don't remember which one it was, so I'll press enter. So, I'm looking for the constitution hash. No,
It'll be a Conway governance query.
good call. Good call.
Make sure to leave that in the video. I'm just kidding.
Of course.
I'm kidding.
You're getting good at it, man. You're getting good. That's awesome. Like Van said, Conway governance query, right? Conway governance query. Let's do this. Constitution. I'm looking for the Constitution, so let's write it down. Constitution. And there we'll probably ask for the testnet is the only thing that's mandatory, right? So let's do that. Dash dash testnet dash magic 4. And here is the anchor about the Constitution, the data hash, and the URL. But before I'll check it, why do we need a data hash of the actual Constitution? When you submit a constitution, your constitution has to live on a URL or domain that you own, or just a URL from somewhere on the internet, and it won't be on chain. By encrypting it, you get an hash, of course. But you know what? I'll show it to you real quick.
The hash essentially is what is making it so we don't have to trust that the Constitution hasn't been changed. It's still trustless because the hash will change if a single digit in the Constitution text is changed. And so we can just reference the hash and know we don't have to go through it with a fine-tooth comb to make sure it matches, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So like he said, if someone, let's say I submitted Constitution with the URL where the Constitution itself live, and it's enacted, it's ratified, and it works, and it's good, what holds me from changing it from the URL that I provided? So what protects people from having me changing it is that data hash. If I change a single dot, a single phrase, a single word, a single letter from it, the hash that is generated from that file won't be the same. So this is a proof of what's on this link is what I said it is. So let's take a look at it. Well, this is the actual Constitution on Central Testnet. Oh, there's an article. Look at that. How pretty. The person who waters wine or change the label should lose his life for it.
Very clever.
Anyway, that's the actual Constitution on Central Testnet. I want to change that for mine. Shall we? Okay, so let's do that. Update to the Constitution. So now I have the data hash from the actual Constitution. I also have the link, but I don't have the transaction ID that I will need to provide on my command to submit my own Constitution. Sorry. So let's go query it. Okay, again, I said that to Van in the past video that I couldn't record. This here is the command to query the governance state of the entire Sancho testnet. So that what that means is that every active governance action are written there, and also the DREPS ID, their expirations, everything. And also the actual constitution that has been ratified. What you write here after, it's a GQ command, JQ command, in French it's G, JQ command, that pretty much filters this whole huge file into just the data that I need. We will make an entire video explaining JQ with Van. It's probably going to be the next one, but right now I just want to do what we said we were going to do. And once it's done, and once we play with it, I will make a video further explaining how you can filter the governance state JSON file into the information that you need. So that being said, let's use it. So we're doing Conway governance query governance state, and we're looking for the actual transaction ID of the constitution, which is this. So I'm going to need that. So let's take a look at what we need. So what they pretty much tell you to do is you upload your constitution from URL into your server, and you encrypt it to get the hash that you need from your constitution text. So let's do that. My constitution is on GitHub, so I'll just grab it and put it on my server. What I do, we could just wget and we grab the link to it, and I paste it here. I have the constitution, so if I nano in it, you will see the constitution text that I've written. It's all there.
Awesome.
So we have it. Again, that's the Sancho testnet, right? That's the Sancho testnet documentation. You go into tab and you scroll down to create governance action. All the information is there. Now I need to encrypt my file and see what hash it's going to give me. So I got the hash of my constitution. I have the URL link to my constitution. I have the transaction ID from the previous constitution. What else do I need? I need a justification that will explain why am I submitting a constitution, right? So inside my repository of GitHub, it's up to you. If you have a domain, you can just, as long as the link itself doesn't go, I think it's 65 bits. I have to double check that. But if you can have a short link to it, it's similar to the URL link of your metadata, of your pool metadata. It has to be short. So if I get back, I do have my proposal text right there. It says, evil scheme to conquer the testnet. For most people who are not going to read that, we're planning to take over the Sancho testnet in a constructive way, of course. We're not evil
Hey,
for
at
real.
least you're being honest.
Actually, I was maybe thinking about putting something like, I like this, this constitution, I believe that's a fine work that should be considered, and just put a second link to another URL that hopefully people wouldn't click on it, that will link it directly to an image of Dr. Evil from Austin Power.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be great.
But didn't have time to do that. So that should be enough. So let's get it. So we have it as well. Right there. We downloaded both into our server. So now I have everything I need to build my constitution action, right?
Awesome.
All right, let's do this. So what do we need? Of course, the command itself, Conway governance action, create constitution. We mentioned the testnet, the governance action deposit, which at the moment is 0, but it could be more than that if using a governance action we change that deposit to something higher that we actually plan on doing. That's for another video. We'll keep some
420,000 Sancho bucks. Sorry.
Anyway, okay, we need also to provide the stake verification key file. We don't have to provide as you can see, we don't have to provide a drep ID. We don't have to provide a cold verification key as well from a stake pool operator. We don't have to provide anything from constitutional committee. Every ADA holder can submit a governance action. Everyone.
So an unstaked wallet can submit a new constitution for Cardano. It has to be registered, but it doesn't have to be actually delegated to a stake pool. So I mean,
yes,
it's pretty accessible, I guess is the word.
Everyone can do it. That's my definition of decentralization. Imagine just a guy out there who submits something that looks really cool. Everyone considers it and they say, wow, that's a great idea. Sure,
yeah.
We'll vote on that. And that could have been submitted by anyone. That's the magic of governance. Anyway, that being said, we need to add as well our proposal URL, which is my proposal text that I showed you, the evil one. The hash from it. Did I generate an hash from it? I don't think I did.
Oh, I don't think you did.
All right.
You?
Let's do this. So we'll use the same command and just switch constitution text by our proposal text. There you go. We have it. Okay. So what else? We need the constitution URL that I have. We need also as you can see, they provide the constitution text. But again, if you look at the command itself, it's up to you. Let's just paste it here. And as you can see, everything that you need to provide, the proposal URL is mandatory, but also mandatory, you have the choice between these three. You can provide the file itself, you can provide its hash, or the text itself as an input. They decided to, in the example they're providing here, they decided to use the constitution text. Pretty much what it's gonna do, it's not, just so people don't get confused, it's not going to grab the old text and put it on the ledger. What it's gonna do is it's just gonna grab your text, generate an hash from it like we did, and just use the hash. The text is not going to live on chain.
Right. So, but that's interesting though, because so do you have to provide the hash or no? You can actually just submit.
You
Right.
can, yeah, you can submit the text itself, but like I said, in the background, what the command will do, it will just
Oh,
generate the
okay, I
hash from
got
it,
you.
right?
It's going to cross-reference the hash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
gotcha. That makes sense. Okay.
So what else do we need? We need the transaction ID of the previous governance action of the
Hmm.
same type. The type being create new constitution
Constitution. Yeah.
and the governance action indexed of that transaction ID. And the out file, which is going to be the name of the file of our action file that we're going to submit on the testnet. So I'll just copy this and I will paste it here. And I will just change what I need to change. What's good and what's not. The proposal URL, I will switch it to my proposal URL.
I just went to go do some cocaine. I mean, blow my nose. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna print out your constitution and read it. I apologize that I haven't read it yet, but
It's okay. You know,
and
I've put a lot of time on it, but there's some parts that I really need to change. And you know, so take it at, in French we'd say, we'd say au second degré, right? Don't take it as it is. Just take it as a, you know, one average guy somewhere in the world who tried to build a constitution, having absolutely no competence, you know, jurisdically speaking.
well, I'm just gonna read it with open eyes, and if there's something that I disagree with, I'm gonna hard fork it. And don't worry, I'll give you credit. I'll make sure to specify where
All
was
right. All right.
your writing, and then I'll do my writing in a green font or something like that, so people know. I'm just kidding. No, I'm excited to read it, and if I have any ideas, I'd be honored to throw some in there.
I appreciate,
Sorry. Okay,
appreciate
we're
it.
building this. We're building this action here.
So I provided the link to my proposal, and I will also add the hash, which is supposed to be somewhere.
Puzzle hash.
Proposal hash, copy and paste. All right. What else? The constitution URL, which is 497 my repository github.io /constitution.text. All right, the constitution. No, here, you know what? I'm going to provide the hash because I don't want to have to write down the path to it because it's not on this file. So I'll use the hash. We already have it. Why not? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. The hash. Copy the constitution hash and I'll paste it. Boom. There it is. Next, the governance action transaction ID from the previous one, which we did here. And the index is 0. So, yeah, as you can see, it doesn't say. It says governance action transaction ID. That could be confusing. But if you look at the option itself, governance action transaction ID, you see in the definition that it's the previous transaction ID of the governance action. So, we got it, we got this, we got everything. That should be good. We're ready to go. So let's enter. No error message. So we have our constitution proposal, governance proposal right there. All right, now we need to, of course, build a transaction to submit it. That's exciting, right? Actually, the first time I thought about it many times about submitting this constitution, but I didn't want to get roasted by the people. But take it lightly. It's nothing serious. I just, you know, throw some idea in there. So
this wouldn't be on. This would be on the hot node, or no? This would be on the cold node. What we're doing now on the air gapped.
Everything we've done there, you can do it offline if you have the last version of the CLI installed on your offline device, because it's obviously not going to work if you run the version 1.35 point whatever.
Right. Okay. But technically, everything we've done up until this point, you could do offline.
Yes.
Well, no, yeah, you would obviously need online information beforehand, but
But you can always get it on a USB drive. Actually, you download it on a USB drive, your transaction text, your proposal text, then you transfer that into your cold device, and
Mm-hmm.
well, this with the hash, or not the hash, but the transaction ID of the previous governance action.
Right, right.
And from your offline device, you create your constitution action, and you could build your transaction to submit it as well. But we're not going to do
That would
that.
be the most secure way, right?
Yes, yes, definitely.
We're using, for the purposes of these videos, we're pretty much using Conway for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, because right now everything that's related to governance should be done within Conway. All right, so if you don't mind, we won't this time, because people already know how to calculate the fees and everything. We will use the transaction build that can only be used from a running node that we right now have, of course, because all our keys live as they are right now. They all live on the hot node. Which
So
again,
we were doing that for the sake of demonstrating best practices, but now we're gonna let our hair down and really embrace Sancho because it is the test net. So
yeah,
we're just gonna cut past that, and if people are interested, the previous video is always there, you know, showing
exactly.
those processes.
So the transaction build, again, it's a transaction build from Conway, as you can see here. We need to provide the testnet magic, the transaction in, which is going to be, as written there, the UTXO that you query from that command. They just put the command to query the UTXO. The change address, which is going to be our payment address, so we're transacting with ourselves. To submit a proposal file, here it says info action, but I'm going to use constitution action, which is the name of our file.
Oh, right, right.
Witness override is the numbers of signature we're going to do. So we're going to sign it with our payment key and our stake key, the one that we use to create our governance action. And the out file being our transaction raw, which is the draft. Well, not the draft, but the transaction that we've built. So let's do this. Copy, paste it, and we will change the info action for constitution action. That's it. And it tells us the amount of fee that we're gonna have to pay automatically. So now we have to sign it. Again, a Conway transaction sign, the testnet, our body file that we provide, and our two keys plus the name of the file. Nothing new there. Let's do it. Now, that's the magic moment. We have to submit it. That's it.
Well, we just made history, people.
Yeah. That's a special
You're
moment.
looking at the future Napoleon Bonaparte of Cardano was just born.
We have just submitted a constitution. That's something, actually. Without
Now I'm gonna vote on it, even though I haven't read any of it. Let's go, Sancho!
all right.
Hey, but honestly, it's awesome to that this is recorded, and I look forward to reading the Constitution tonight that you've submitted, and I'm excited to give notes, and it feels really awesome to be able to collaborate like this. So cheers to you, Mike. Keep up the great work, man.
We will go query it and see live our governance action. So first, we need to get the key hash of my stake key. So we use the Conway stake address key hash command with our verification key file, right? And it says stake 1. I don't know why, but that's not the name of my stake key, so I'll just use stake.b.
Stake 1 B key. Yeah,
That's a typo. That's probably a typo.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I did it, and this is my key hash, right? So now that I have my key hash, I can query the governance state, and again, I will explain it further in the next video. That's for sure. You will have to filter that huge file using arguments, and the arguments there, that the variable, sorry, for key hash will be your actual key hash. No, actually, yeah, we'll just explain it in the next video, shall we? Because I don't want to
Yeah,
get
no,
too
that
much into
sounds good. For now, we'll just let people know the governance state of Cardano is going to eventually, I mean, can you imagine in a couple of years how massive it'll be? It'll take people, I mean, it's going to get, it'll be giant. I'm sure there'll be websites dedicated to visualizing it and breaking it down and all that.
This is the tip of the iceberg, because actually, you'll see, man, as soon as we play with the protocol parameters, it's going to be fun. Just to think
Crazy.
that,
Madness.
change the governance action deposit for 400,000 ADA.
420,000 ADA. Come on, man.
Well, oh, yes. That's a great idea.
Come on, man. That's low-hanging fruit.
400. All right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, pretty much. What people need to know right now is the actual command is the query governance state, and you can redirect the output to a file. If you want to read it all, that's fine. It's just massive. You guys want to knock yourself out and see how big this is? This is only Sancho. And all you see
So
there.
yeah, not all of it is parameters though. There's constitution submissions there. There's DREPs. There's all governance actions are going to be in this file.
Exactly.
All DREPs.
All DREPs and
all parameters. All yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, it's big already, and it's only going to get 1,000 times bigger. So. It'll be good to go through the JQ in the next video.
No, you're gonna have to. We're gonna have to filter it. No choice. As you can see, there's also the expiration of your DREP key hash that people tend to forget, because DREPs have an expiration. If you guys don't vote on governance action for a certain amount of time, that's written here, you will be inactive. And that's pretty bad for your reputation, I'll say, right? So again, up to you. But
barring maybe a health emergency or things like this, but it goes back to everything with Cardano. If a DREP is transparent about why they're going to be inactive for X amount of time, I don't think anyone will hold it against them, as long as they just communicate it in advance. And
sure. Now we have our key hash that's here of our stake key. We need the key hash from our stake key, and we will paste it into the command as the argument to the rest of the GQ command that I will explain further another time. And it's going to give us, technically, yes, there you are. This, my friend, is that's right there. You don't see it?
Oh, sorry.
This is it. So from the key hash of my stake key that I use to transmit to create my constitution action, we use the query governance state again that I will explain further with the GQ commands in the next video. And using filters and variables, I used my key hash to track from that governance state the data hash of my anchor that's here, my constitution. If I just copy paste it, that should work technically. Let's go see if it works. So people on chain can see this.
Wow, very cool.
That's good. It works. And the tag is new constitution. We have the governance ID that's there. It's good. The key hash.
Congratulations, sir. You did it. How do you feel?
How I feel? I feel like, as you can see here, I feel pretty lonely. There's no DREP votes. Wait. Come back.
Sorry. It was just a technical difficulty, sir.
I thought it was just, too bad. Bye.
No, let's vote on this bad boy. I trust you, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, you do? All right, let's do this. So now, yes, we have everything we need. Our action is on chain. That can be seen by everyone. And actually, I will make sure that I'll make sure to share it.
And I'm gonna vote on this constitution, and because it's SanchoNet, I'm not even gonna read it.
Could
That's what
actually.
SanchoNet's all about. That's what it's all about.
Of course not. What are you talking
I'm
about?
just kidding. I'm joking. I'm gonna read it tonight, and I'm gonna try to help contribute if I can.
It's a fine one. So let's vote. So we're going to vote with two drep keys, right? So we'll do Cardinal CLI governance vote create, and we will vote yes on the governance action ID that I provided, that is the UTXO, the transaction index, the drep verification key, and the name of the file that we're going to submit on chain, which is pretty long. I'll just could actually use it as it is. No, I don't want to. Constitution.
Well, that's funny. When you go to build it, they've got some. It still says Conway era. Is that? Sorry. Go ahead. I'm interrupting.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll just try it on my side.
Yeah.
Okay. So that I'll erase. I'll call it Constitution vote. It's pretty long. All right. So the transaction ID of the Constitution is there. So I'll copy it and I will put it here. So we had the transaction ID of the Constitution that I did. The index is 0. My drep verification key is there. That's good. And the out file, I'll call it the Constitution vote. That's done. Next. Next. I voted. So now we have to, of course, transmit it. So there's the transaction in, which is going to be our next UTXO. That's being queried again with this command. Oh no, you're right. That's wrong. Conway era.
We'll put Cardano CLI Conway governance transaction build. I guess we could see
Conway. That's Cardano CLI Conway transaction build. There's no governance.
Conway. Oh right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that too. I'll make a pull request for this as well. You know, we keep building, right? You know, that's pretty good that we encounter those little typo actually.
Cardano CLI Conway transaction build. Testnet Magic 4. Yeah.
Yes.
Everything else should work though, right?
Yep. Everything. Well, no. The vote file, depending on what you used, as long as you provide the vote file itself.
Oh, right. The correct one. Yeah.
Witness override 2. You need the payment for your transaction and your drep signing key to sign the fact that you voted for this governance section. So let's do this. My vote file name is Constitution Vote. So I'll erase all that. There you go. Next. There was a little typo up there. Actually, Conway era, it shouldn't be mentioned like that. It's Cardinal CLI Conway transaction build. And the testnet Magic 4 is mentioned here. Alright, the query is good. Change address, that's good. Everything's good. And it's going to be called vote-transaction.raw. We have it. Next, we need to sign it. So here, we'll sign it with our drep keys. I'll show it here again. CLI transaction sign. This could actually be Conway transaction sign. I'm gonna put Conway because I like Conway. Conway's cool. That's so cool. Transaction body file, vote that. That's good. We're signing with the rep signing key, our payment signing key, and that's good. Awesome. It's signed. Next, we will submit it. Come on. Submit. Yes. Now let's verify. Okay? Let's verify if we can see it. Oh, there it is. Yay! Look at that. We have a drep who voted yes.
That's awesome, Mike.
Yeah. We made it.
I'm gonna vote for you this evening. Okay, so you'll have 2 yes votes soon enough.
So I got
using what we just did, somebody can come up with their own idea for a Cardano constitution. They can go on SanchoNet and they can submit a governance action to update the constitution. And this video should provide some pretty good help with that. Well, yeah, be sure to share that on Discord and stuff, man.
Yeah.
The proper action IDs so everybody can check it out and vote. That's awesome. I'm sure you'll get a lot of yes votes, and I'll add mine into the ring.
Thanks for being here for me, man. Thanks for doing this for me. I really
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Man, that was awesome. I feel like we just made history, man. I don't want to. I don't want to. What's that called? Self-aggrandizing, but
Not yet.
it's pretty cool stuff, you know.
If people vote on it, we will. If that is ratified, that'd be really awesome. Honestly, I'll be thrilled. But so next video, just mentioning it, next video we will mainly talk about GQ commands and how to filter your governance state properly according to what information you want to pull from it.
And that'll be a cool way during that video. It could double as, you know, the JQ command as well as an overview of the governance state, you know, categories themselves.
Yeah.
All the different, you know, we could give some cool examples and whatnot.
Sure, that'd be awesome. All right, so I'm not
Cool, man.
not holding you away.
That was fun. I gotta jump off, but that was
Awesome.
great, man. And we'll do it again soon.
Awesome, great video. Thanks for being here.
All right, cool.
Talk
I'm
to you
gonna
later.
vote for you too. Don't worry. I'll keep you updated on that.
Awesome.
All right, see ya.
Thank you.
I'm gonna
See
vote
ya.
now. I'm kidding.
All right,
Bye.
take care, man.